Dance into the Night, great single from the Azurescens. I'm going to have to ask if I'm saying that correctly, but let's see. I think we have I think we have at least Gaz from the band, and we'll see who else. Gaz, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Hey.
We've got Andrew here as well.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Welcome, guys. Love that song. Very, very, very catchy.
Nice. Thank you.
Very positive, and no, that's great. That came out in May, correct?
Yeah, started May. Yeah.
So relatively new.
Yeah.
What's the response been to it? I would imagine you're having some success with it because it's impossible to, it's kind of infectious. So the first time I listened to it, it was stuck in my head the entire day.
That's a good thing, isn't it?
Very.
That's exactly what we want. You want the wee DJ inside your head to like actually record it and play it back to you constantly in a loop.
No doubt.
But no, it's gone doing well. It's always been like a favourite, even when we played it live at our shows and that. So you get it recorded, so it's out there for people. It's been good.
Yeah, excellent. You guys have been around for a while, right? Did you start basically? Are you a COVID? I probably hate this term, but a COVID band. Did you start during the pandemic?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Right, we did, but we would have started anyway. I think we were all at a point in our, like we were kind of all looking for something like that. I think.
Yeah.
The COVID it's just a coincidence that happened at the same time.
Yeah.
But gave us a wee bit of a boost at the beginning because obviously we're able to practice, and putting new songs together and stuff like with a bit of peace and quiet.
Right.
With everybody in the world being locked away.
Yeah. It's interesting because we've had a lot of, it's quite a few years after now, although it might not seem like it, but in 2026, even now, we have a lot of guests on the show who will talk about, they formed around that time or before them, and then the pandemic happened, and then everything really changed for a while, and it kind of forced people to find new ways to be creative and to work together, but you guys, starting around that time, obviously, because I was reading that I don't think you played your first live show until a couple of years later, right? In 22.
Yeah, 2022 was the first one, because we weren't want to just jump in and do like a live show when we weren't ready for it. So we took our time and we worked on a set, got our songs the way we were wanting them to that point.
Nice and tight, so that when we're playing, our music would come across correctly. If you go out before you've practiced songs properly, or you add them into set too quickly, you're bound to make mistakes, and it's fine making mistakes and everything like that, right? Most people don't notice them, but they do notice a band that's not tight.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So tell me about the name, and well, actually, first let's clear this up. Am I saying it correctly? The Azurescens? Am I close?
That's actually quite good. Yeah.
Really?
I'm not sure of the definitive way to say it, right? But we're named after a magic mushroom that grows in America, and it's called the Azurescens. But I mean, I might actually be pronouncing that wrong as well.
It might be our accent.
It's called Azurescens. I suspect, right? I've never really actually seen the mushroom itself, but it's called a blue meanie. It's I take it takes its name from azure, as in the color. So Azuresens.
Okay.
So that's the basic thing of it. I mean, the reason for choosing that really is because we're kind of quite a psychedelic band. We like to, have nice reverbs and delays and stuff like that going on in our tunes. So it kind of makes the songs, although they're poppy and rocky, at the same time, they're quite psychedelic. So they give somebody something to listen to. Well, that's what we hope anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Now, what went into the choice to go with? Well, how many? Let me ask it this way, because I'm curious about the choice of "Dance Into the Night" for a single. But how many songs do you guys have recorded that you've released at this point?
I think it's maybe about 16. I think we will maybe 11 singles, and we've done a 6-track EP.
Okay.
Last year.
Okay.
So I think maybe about 15 or 16 that we've got recorded and out.
Okay.
On all the streaming platforms?
We've got ones that we've recorded already, but we've not worked on them yet. As in, they're just desk mixes at the moment, so we've actually been in and done things. Another 4. Yeah, and then we're going to do an album after that. But the problem is that people have a very short attention span nowadays. Most people really, really do have a terrible attention span. So, the kind of idea is that folk like to see things that are like short, and whatnot, So when it comes to putting things on the internet, it's all shorts, so very, very basic, brief clips of videos. Well, that's not the way that we work. Our tunes have got a bit of depth in them. They need somebody to have an attention span, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. We live in a time where there's so many different ways to release music, and I'm old enough to remember when I was growing up, most bands or solo artists, whomever, would release an album. The first single would go to radio ahead of the album, and then the album would come out, and then you'd get, if all went well, you might get a second single and a third single, etc. But now a lot of artists are kind of doing the inverse of that, releasing a series of singles that eventually coalesce into an EP or an album, because you got to feed that algorithm.
Yeah.
So that's what we're kind of doing. We're just bombarding the internet with lots of singles, and then at some point we will re-record a whole album from start to finish, and it'll be probably a few new songs mixed with mixed with ones that we've previously recorded, but obviously have refined over the years. So like some of the things that we've recorded, we play them slightly different now. Obviously with them being live.
Yeah.
When you play a few gigs and things like that, things change.
Yeah, songs change over time.
Refined, So sometimes some of the recording that we've done, we feel that we're a lot better at those tunes now than we were.
We want to change them and go back, get them done better.
Yeah. Now, and you guys went through, speaking of playing live, you guys went through a lineup change last year, correct?
That's correct, yeah. We've actually been through a couple of lineup changes, but they're not. We've lost our drummer on a couple of occasions. The first time was our first drummer was a guy called Jay, and Jay, got his girlfriend pregnant, and he had to leave the band, because he work commitments and things like that, and obviously family is a slightly different thing.
Yeah.
And then we got another guy, and he was sound. It was 2 years, and then he got offered a dream job for himself. So wouldn't have the time to do the band as well. But we've landed on our feet. We've got a really good replacement. It took us about 6 months though to refine some of the songs, and actually they've all got better because of the change, because it's forced us to rethink how we play things and get it tighter again, and like slightly different melodies within the songs and stuff. So
yeah,
it's all a learning process, isn't it?
I don't know if it's the same there, but here, when you lose a drummer, that can be a death knell, because drummers are very hard to find here. I have a theory about it. I think it's because when you're growing up and you want to learn to play a musical instrument, and you have to have the conversation with the parents. If you tell them you want to play drums, they're gonna either that or the tuba. They might try to talk you out of it. But,
anything that's hellish to listen to, they're going to want to get rid of that idea in your head. Most definitely, it's kind of like that. It is. It's definitely down to the parents not wanting it, but you still do have good drummers. It just happens to be that I kind of knew a guy that was, in between bands at the time anyway, and he's a really good drummer. So, if we were to lose a member of the band, it's devastating, because you lose a certain dynamic, that the band brings. It's not, the band's never about one person. It can't be about one person. It's about a collaborative, venture, I suppose. And the minute you take one part out, it just changes it fundamentally.
Oh yeah.
But luckily we've just grit our teeth and just grin and bear it, and just got on with it. And on this occasion, we came at the other end smelling the roses, I suppose. So our new drummer's really, really good. He's really entertaining to watch as well.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
And we added a keyboard player as well. We've got Fraser in playing keyboards and extra guitar as well. So the band sort of expanded their sound as well with that. We were always wanting to get the keys involved in our sound. So we've got Fraser, and he's added a lot to the band as well.
Excellent.
We've always wanted to sort of make our sound looser and bigger. And that's not always the case by adding extra instruments, but then if you're a musician, you'll understand that the more that you can add, the more space can be created if people are tasteful.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about being tasteful and not overdoing things. So it's giving every single instrument a space within the music, I suppose.
Right. Well said. Yeah, absolutely. Did you guys open? Is this correct? You guys open for? Definitely Oasis. Is that an Oasis tribute band?
Yeah.
It's one of the travel around the world. They're one of the
they're one of the premier ones. We opened for them at the Liquid Rooms.
Quite a big venue in Edinburgh.
It's nice. But obviously. That was a really nice gig for us. It was.
Nice. That's one of the best ones. Yeah, that was top. That was a top night.
No,
it was absolutely rammed.
You've
got everybody, you probably know the way Scots people are. They like to party, So the gigs themselves are really, really charged. You'll have an audience that's right up for it. Every single one of them. It's quite entertaining. It'll stick in your head for a while, that gig.
Oh, I bet.
It's good.
That's the second time in the show today that Oasis has come up, because with our previous guests, we were the Radio Addicts. We were talking about Oasis. Is that a band that's an influence on you guys? They're one of my favorite bands, but I've noticed when I talk to people,
one of my favorite bands as well. One of my favorite bands as well. But everybody in the band has all got different sort of influences as well. So they're I love them, but other people aren't too keen on them.
I think they're all right. So I'm more into sort of where they got their influences from. Sort of grew up listening to Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and the Stones and things like that. And even more obscure ones. Gaz is into a wee bit into his country and stuff like that. And then Brian's right into his indie, but he's kind of a bit like me as well. He likes some of the older bands, and then everybody's got their own wee thing, and we actually laugh at each other's influences. It creates quite a good bit of banter within the band, because Brian can't stand country music. He's not here to defend himself just now, which is unfortunate.
Right. Scottish. As far as Scottish bands too, because I'm curious about that. Simple Minds was one of my favorite bands growing up. They're the first ones I think of when I think of Scottish bands. But what is the scene like there? Are there a lot of bands that sound like what you guys are doing, or do you kind of?
No, definitely not. We do have a quite unique sound, the Azurescens, but don't get me wrong. The Scottish music scene is absolutely bustling.
Yeah,
it's there's a really cracking scene here, but it's just really hard to get gigs in venues now, and that's not because of the lack of talent. It's actually just because the price of actually running a gig now is tripled or something in the last 6 years. So when you go into a venue, it's expensive. You have to charge more for tickets. Everybody's getting paid a wee bit more and everything like that. There isn't much left for the musicians. So
we're
all struggling. We're all struggling in Scotland, but we don't care about that. That's not an issue,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you just got to keep going. But it sounds like you guys have a lot of momentum. And by the way, the EP, we kind of alluded to it earlier, but Common Bond, that came out last year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, last October, I think it was.
Okay.
October, yeah. 6 tracks on that one. Common Bond. The sort of the main one that done well for that was One Horse Town. That was another wee catchy, 3-minute radio-friendly song. But we re-recorded our first two singles, Middle of Nowhere and Light from Dark.
But they were posted onto the EP. We
were on the...
do is give folk an EP, but that was a wee test in the ground, wasn't it, guys? And I think from that we've realised that we actually need to split the songs up, and release them
individually. So they each get worthy sort of attention, if you know what I mean, because we think the songs each.
We all believe, right, that every one of our songs has got potential greatness, and it's just, I suppose, finding the right people, but with the short attention span that I was talking about earlier on. We released the EP, and most people, well, there will be folk that did listen to the whole thing, but the majority of folk were only really listening to the first track, and that's just not what it's about,
Right.
So unless you can give them a physical copy, which is rare nowadays, people get physical copies. It's a lot of it's just digital download and stuff like that. So, they'll just press skip, won't they? Listen to the first tune and then that's it. So, that's what we're struggling against.
Sure.
People's attention span. But then, again, it's just, you need to keep just doing it. Keeping putting the music out there and letting and then you never know. We've had some really interesting things happen. Wee animations and stuff made for us, and quite a lot of nice attention on the radio and things like that. So we hope to build from that moving on.
Yeah, excellent. Well, you're definitely on a positive trajectory, no doubt about it. At the end of our conversation, when we let you guys go in a couple minutes, we're going to play this song "Light from Dark." I really like this a lot. Is there any kind of a particular story behind this song, or and again, I like the positivity, which seems to be definitely a theme with you guys. But anything we should know about this song?
Well, that's an old song that I went and wrote. I don't know, maybe close to 12 years ago, maybe.
Really?
But I'd before I joined the band, this is the first band I've ever been in. So I wrote just loads of songs just for playing on the acoustic guitar in the house. But that one I wrote, my missus was going through a bit of a hard time. So that was kind of it was a wee song for her. But I just basically kept it to myself. And then I went and played it to Andy and Brian when we were first sort of getting together. And as soon as they heard it, they were like, wow, let's work on that. So we worked it. And the way it is now, it's phenomenal. I love it.
So it's such a proud moment when we're playing that tune, because it's very emotional. Because it's obviously it's describing to somebody that's having psychological issues that there's a light at the the end of the tunnel. It's not all doom and gloom. It's trying to be positive, and that's what I mean. Set aside, Gaz is a brilliant songwriter. And whether or not the songs are about depression,
I know.
It doesn't matter.
There's a few of them.
Quite often, the music behind it's quite positive. So we try to balance it. So if the message is really dark, right, the music will be sculpted around it to be really beautiful and hopefully positive. And I'm glad you're playing Light for Dark, because it needs to be heard more from more people.
Even with that one, there is a message saying, Ken, that there is hope there. It's it is basically, there is, like you say, light at the end of the tunnel. So
far too many people get stuck in a rut, with bad psychological issues and stuff like that, when they could just share it with somebody. And when you share it, it makes things a whole lot easier. I mean, I do realise there's folks out there that just can't get away from the problems they have. But it's good to share them with folk, and you never know when you share things what will happen. Sometimes a right positive thing comes out of it. Light for Dark being a good tune. It really is.
Yeah, no, as someone who struggles with depression, I can really appreciate all that. And maybe that's why the song connects with me the way that it does. But yeah absolutely. Guys, this has been wonderful, Gaz and Andy. I really enjoyed talking with you guys, and we'll have you back. We'll definitely do this again in the future as you're releasing more music. Yeah, sounds like you got a lot of good stuff coming up. So
we've got another one coming soon as well. So definitely be there.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Not long.
Where's before we let you guys go, and we're going to hit that track Light from Dark, but where's the best place to go online to keep up with everything that you guys are doing? The Azurescens, the pronunciation that I'm going with.
That'll do. We've got like all social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and our music is on every sort of streaming platform. Spotify, Apple Music.
If you type in our name, you'll find it. It's there. Sometimes think we've got it in too many. Too many. Spotify seems to be the thing where we get the most listens.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. But yeah, it's helpful that you have a name that's not a common word. So yes, it's very you're very Googleable, as I like to say. It's if you Google that, it comes right up. Guys, thank you again. We'll let you go and we'll hit that track. But thank you both again so much for joining us. This has been.
Look after yourself, Matt. Thanks
very much
for the conversation. It's been interesting. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, guys. All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Catch you. Bye.
All right, that is Gaz and Andy from the band The Azurescens, and let's play this song. Like I said, this really connects with me. This is called Light from Dark.